Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
At the same time, we do also recognize that just a couple days ago, there's this new stimulus package that is being introduced and called on by the administration on Congress, right? This is the package that I brought to you. It's a $30 billion package, the starting point, by the way. Just like when you go out and buy a new car, right? You look at the sticker price and they say, starting at $24,999, or, whatever they say. That's the starting price, but it always goes up from there. You know the game, right? So that's the whole deal with this package as well. Starting at $30 billion. Now, this is the package that we've been waiting for about a month and a half now. It's been a very long time that we've been waiting for this package, and finally, we just got some more details on this thing the other day, and they're starting it out at $30 billion. Now, at the same time, we also heard from Mitch McConnell, and he's also saying, why do we want to spend $30 billion of new money when we have billions and billions of dollars that are already here, they've already been approved, we can just reallocate that money to send it out in the form of these stimulus packages or whatever spending the Democrats want to do right now. So it's very interesting to see this out of Mitch McConnell, because we've basically been saying the same thing for a very long time now. Now again, I'm not siding with Mitch McConnell, I'm not going with or against anybody here, I'm just simply saying these are the words that are being said out there. So it's very interesting because many of us here in the community, and we've been watching this for over a month now as well, that according to the reports, they have about $800 billion still sitting on the books from the previous stimulus packages that's already been approved by Congress in those packages, but yet it has not been allocated, right? They have not sent it out, they have not spent it, according to these reports anyway. It could be $700 billion, it could be $822 billion, but either way, the reports are saying that there's hundreds of billions of dollars still sitting on the table. So, very interesting as it all comes down to this, right? So, coming back full circle to those words that were said yesterday out of Chuck Schumer. Again, a big question mark looms, wondering, what do you mean by this, right? So again, I wanted to talk about this a little bit more here and discuss what it actually means when Democrats say relief is coming. It's also kind of interesting too, because as of the last week or so, we've been hearing a number of different lawmakers coming out and actually showing that they understand that Americans are struggling right now and that relief is needed, which is very interesting. Because over the last, I don't know, how many months are we talking about? 6-8 months from now? We haven't really heard a whole lot out of that many lawmakers coming out saying a whole lot that, hey, we recognize Americans are struggling right now. In fact, we haven't really heard that about any lawmakers coming out saying anything remotely close to that, right? We've been hearing them talk a lot about the stimulus package, the Build Back Better agenda, all of these things like this, but at the same time, we haven't really heard that many lawmakers coming out saying, hey, Americans are struggling. But as of about the last week or so, we've heard a number of them coming out starting to recognize, hey, Americans are struggling, and what kind of relief are we going to do for them? So maybe the attitudes are starting to change a little bit in Congress. A good thing. Now, one more quick side note, and I want to throw this out there as well, because all of this is so highly correlated, as I've mentioned so many times in previous videos. Remember, right now, we do also have the Senior Citizens League. Now again, the last time I saw anything about this, as in the last reports that I saw were a few weeks ago, where apparently the Senior Citizens League has already been talking to Congress and kind of pushing that $1,400 stimulus check on Congress to get this going for all of the fixed income Americans receiving these benefits that I've been talking about, like Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI benefits. So again, this is another ace that we have up our sleeve. Hopefully, their talks and their negotiations will also lend a little bit of power to us and help us give us a little bit more leverage to get potential payments going forward. One other thing we have to mention as well, and this one, of course, is out there right now. Of course, we hope that there's a resolution to this, but we also have to recognize the whole Russia and Ukraine situation right now. Again, kind of scary, but we have to throw this out there. Now, you might be wondering, what does all of this have to do with a $2,000 stimulus check, and what does this mean when it comes to Democrats saying relief is coming? Again, like I said, it's all highly correlated, and we have to talk through all of this because we need to better understand how does all of this kind of relate to each other. Here's the deal. if there's any of these things that come forward, like the Russia-Ukraine situation, the stock market is basically teetering on the cliff of collapse, the whole thing is about to come down. The point is, and again, I'm not here to try to instill fear in anybody, I'm simply saying there's so many things right now that could be a catalyst for a $2,000 check, right? There's so many things. If the stock market rolls over and hits the floor even more than it's already gone down, I mean, this is just a little test as to what could be coming. But the point is, if any of these things start to happen here, many of these could be further catalysts toward additional relief for the American people. Now again, let's quickly come back and talk about Chuck Schumer and the remarks that were said yesterday about all of these anti-inflationary agenda moves that they're making, as well as what Democrats are going to be doing over the next month or so to introduce these ideas and concepts to get more money into the pockets of the people. Now here's the deal. Chuck Schumer did not indicate all that much as to what this means, right? So a lot of us are still wondering, what does this actually mean? Now again, I just want to talk about a $2,000 stimulus check because that's the whole purpose of why this video is being made, right? But I wanted to preface all of it by bringing you all that information and let you know this is where we currently stand. These are the things that are going on right here, right now. You can feel free to look up any of it because I think all of us are very aware of what is going on around the world, as far as what is going on right here in this country, as far as discussions out of Congress, the administration, this package, the new stimulus package that I just talked about the other day. There's a lot of different things. However, when it comes to a $2,000 stimulus check, I'm not here to say that yes, for sure it is coming, and I'm also not here to say that no, for sure it's not coming. The deal is, anything could come at any given point. However, when it comes to additional relief for the American people, we do recognize that Congress needs to do something like quick here because they're coming into the election cycle, whereas the midterm elections are coming up relatively fast here, right? I know it's several months out from now, but the deal is they need to secure those votes now because the more time that they wait, getting closer and closer to the elections, the harder it's going to be to transition those votes into, votes for whatever side, right? And again, I'm not here taking sides. I'm simply telling you, this is what's going on. So, we do know that money speaks, right? Money talks, and inaction just, makes us walk, is essentially kind of what the saying is, in a little bit of a sense. But anyway, as far as a $2,000 stimulus check, again, nobody knows about this at all right now, right? So nobody knows if it's a for sure thing. Nobody knows if it is a not for sure thing. But the more of these little things that continue popping up, as in all of that that I just talked through a second ago, the more of these that continue popping up, I continue to say, the more of these that continue happening, the more potential controversy that's going on or potential risks that we have out there right now, the greater likelihood that we have of additional relief coming to us in the form of direct payments. However, as we mentioned just the other day in a previous video, realistically, as we talked about in that other video the other day, what would be more helpful, a $2,000 one-time check or realistically monthly payments? Now here's the thing, as a result of that video, we saw it so many different times. A $2,000 check would certainly be helpful right now. However, what would really be helpful is anywhere between $250 and $500 every single month ongoing for about a year. That would be where the real support would actually come in. Right? Now, don't get me wrong, a $2,000 one-time check would certainly be very, very helpful for a lot of people right now. But let's talk about some other things that are also going on around the country right now. We continue to see all of these different programs, guaranteed basic income programs, popping up all over the country right now, offering, yes, exactly what we're looking for, a $500 check ongoing for about a year, 2 years, or even 3 years in some instances. So when it comes down to an additional check, yes, there may actually be a fourth stimulus check, but again, I can't promise anything because honestly, I don't really know what Congress is going to do. However, I am watching everything very closely, and we also do need to watch everything and watch it how it all plays out, because remember, everything is just like one more pillar in the whole equation, right? It's basically just a big equation that we're looking at, wondering, okay, how many pillars do we have in our side, going toward a $2,000 check? Meanwhile, how many pieces of information do we have on the other side saying that a check is not needed? Well, as we've talked about many times here on the channel, I think that a lot of us can agree that it's very obvious that the lower income and the fixed income need that additional check. But again, we've talked about that before in previous videos. We don't need to go down that in this video again. But obviously, we all know that an additional check right now is very, very much needed. So we kind of need to look at it as almost like a game of, okay, how many tallies does the other team have, and how many tallies do we have as our team? Well, in our opinion, we'd have to say that our team has way more tallies than the other team, simply because we continue to come back and see all of the evidence why a check is very much needed right now. But when it comes to a one-time check, yes, absolutely it could happen. But at the same time, to be totally fair, at the same time, we may come back and say, oh, wait, I guess they were talking about relief in all kinds of different forms other than actually a direct payment for the people. Again, we don't know what Congress is thinking. They're doing a lot of talking behind closed doors right now, just like the skinny portion of the stimulus package. A lot of that is being negotiated out of the public eye right now, simply because maybe they've seen it so many other times where they've come out with negotiations and say, hey, we're going to do this, and then sure enough, after a few months, nothing ever happens, right? How many times have they done that to us in the past 2 years now? Many, many times. We've seen that come out where they say they're going to do all this stuff and then eventually nothing ever happens. So maybe they finally figured it out that negotiating behind closed doors is maybe a better strategy, and then come out when they actually have something substantial that they can actually deliver to the people rather than just a bunch of talk, right? So there is certainly a lot going on right now. But anyway, when it comes to that, those remarks out of Chuck Schumer yesterday, I did have some of you reaching out in the comment section wondering, is this going to mean a $2,000 check will be arriving to us sometime soon? Now again, I can't promise that, and I can't say that no, it's not going to happen either. Anything can happen right now. Any of these catalysts that I mentioned throughout this video could be the pillar to actually make the next check drop. Now at the same time, we could be watching all of this stuff very closely, and maybe they pivot and say, hey, you know, we're not going to offer a check going forward, but we do think that something along the lines of maybe an adult tax credit, advanced payments in the amount of $250 or $300, just like the child tax credit payment, is a better solution and something that we certainly want to get out for the people. So any of these things could come. And realistically, as we've talked about, monthly checks would almost be kind of a better idea in the long run anyway, right? Even though it would be this slow grind, rather than getting a lump sum payment right up front, it might be a couple $100s a month going forward for a year. At the end of the year, you're going to have more money at the end of the day, but realistically, it's that big lump sum payment that would certainly help out a lot of people right now. Kind of get what I'm saying with all this? So there is a lot going on right now.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified that whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.